Nice of the princess to invite us over for a picnic, eh, Luigi? I hope she made lots of spaghetti. Luigi, look! It's from Bowser. Dear pesky plumbers.
This video is brought to you by GameMaker. And if you've ever wanted to get into game development, GameMaker does this really crazy thing where it's free. Just start making and only pay when you want to release your game to the world commercially.
It's fast, it's user-friendly, and there's easy-to-follow tutorials, plus a dedicated community to help answer even my questions. How make man jump? GameMaker is a 2D game engine that's helped bring some of yours and my favorite recent experiences to life, like UFO 50, Chicory, Anton Blast, and of course, Yahtzee's own Starstruck Vagabond.
Ooh, we talking about GameMaker? I love that program, it's so easy to use. As well as Starstruck Vagabond, I also used it to make all 12 projects in my 12 games in 12 months Dev Diary challenge. And I couldn't believe how much sex I got out of that. None. I got none at all. Which I couldn't believe.
So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the GameMaker link in the description and start cracking away today, because we want to play your game.
Yeah, looking through this list, I'm seeing one of you made Armpit Fart Tycoon, and I've got several questions for you.
Waha! It's a me, Yahtzee Crowshaw. Here's Jay and Marty as well.
Yahoo!
And today's March 10th, which can be written as Mar10. So that makes it Mario Day, apparently. And we're supposed to give a shit about Mario the whole time. So here's the topic we've hit upon, everyone. Imagine that we're living in Stalinist Russia. And Stalin, for some reason, has decided he's offended by Mario, probably because he assumes it's like taking the piss out of his moustache. And he has ordered that all Mario games be purged. But we are like the head librarian of the video games library. And before the squad with all the burning torches and gasoline arrives, we've just got time to grab 4 games. One in our left hand, one in our right hand, one in our mouth, and one between our bum cheeks, as we flee from the museum. What 4 games do we ensure that Mario has an insured future?
Can we talk about how this was just pitched as just build a Mario Mount Rushmore, and then I like Yahtzee's like,
no,
take us back 70
he's
years.
floor for the handle. But I dig this. I also think when we give our list, we have to say what limb we're holding it with. Is it in your left, right, mouth, or arse? That's what you have to say.
And just digressing for a moment, is it sad that I'm pretty sure I can identify which 4 games are being referenced in the thumbnail there?
Well, one of them's not a game, right?
Yeah.
No, I think we can all tell, because we're professionals, that the first one is Mario's from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can tell from his slightly smaller eyes and slightly smaller nose. The next one is Mario. Next one's Mario 3, obviously, because he's wearing the raccoon ears.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the raccoon ears in Mario World because it was replaced with a cape. The next one's Paper Mario, obviously. Probably Thousand Year Door, going by the high def.
Yeah.
And the last one, I'm all but certain, is the remake of Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
It is. You can tell because he's got those dead eyes staring off into the distance.
Yeah, and it's also isometric. He's at an isometric angle.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love if the isometric angle that Pavanathan chose for that image was just the top of Mario's head, and it's just like a red oval.
The reason it's he's at an angle is because that's the one you have in your bum. He's like, get out of here. Get me out of here.
He's angling himself for the stink.
Oh God, for the stink. We also made a rule that we can't choose compilations. It would be cheating to be like Mario All-Stars, Mario 3D All-Stars. Yeah. So we have to choose individual games. It doesn't have to be specifically Mario games. It could be one of the many Mario tangential games. You can take the Mario movie if you want to be a real sicko. Put that one straight up your ass.
I think all we agreed on is that it has to be a game that Mario is in. So, we could do Smash Brothers if we really wanted.
Yeah, you could do Smash. You could do NBA Street Volume 3 for the GameCube. Which
Yeah, you could do Punch Out for the Nintendo Entertainment System. He was the referee.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess we'll start with right hand. Most important Mario game. My favorite Mario game.
I'm left-handed, so.
Oh no!
Right.
This is my second. This is my second most important.
Okay. My right hand Mario game is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Ooh.
Which I think a lot of people could have predicted, because it is not only my favorite game with Mario in it, it's also one of my favorite GameCube titles of all time, and possibly even one of my favorite Japanese RPGs.
It also does a good job of, I know this isn't like the syllabus thing, but it does a good job of providing like, hey, this was a great early example of Mario can do things outside of the confines of just a 2D or 3D platformer. This proved that like Mario as a character is very malleable and is able to be placed in different genres and scenarios in a way that a lot of other game mascots kind of can't. Sonic has tried, and Sonic has failed at most of those other attempts.
What?
I love the Thousand Year Door has such imagination to it. And basically every other RPG in the world and every Mario game uses the same biomes. You start with the grasslands, then it's desert, then it's jungle, then it's ocean, then it's forest. Maybe you'll have an ice world and a fire world. And then the fire world will usually be where Bowser's hanging out. I think with the 3D ones, you can usually count on there being a candy world at some point. Although, I think Super Mario World had some of those. But Thousand Year Door's levels just completely defy that. I mean, the first area, it's grasslands and then a castle with a dragon in it, boo. But then there's a section where you have to become a professional wrestler. And then there's a section where you are on a train and have a sort of Agatha Christie murder mystery to solve.
Yeah.
And then, like, the overall plot is about Princess Peach getting abducted by aliens and has to bewitch a computer that is weirdly obsessed with getting her to take her clothes off. I mean,
it's a really horned up computer, by the way.
I know. It's a very horned up computer, and Princess Peach like gets naked like 4 times in front of the computer.
I haven't played Thousand Years Door, but not because of the Peach naked thing, but because of the description of the level shifts and the imagination. This really makes me want to play it.
Oh, it's really good.
Well, you know, if any game gets a strong recommendation from me, it's worth playing.
Yeah.
Not true. You like a lot of bad ones. But no, this one's great. This one holds up really well too. I stopped about halfway through, but I did a replay last year when the new one came out. Writing is still incredibly funny. Exactly like Yahtzee, you mentioning. Reminds me of the like sharp shifts into how each chapter unfolds. Reminds me a bit. I played some Split Fiction over the weekend, and like It Takes Two, where they're kind of willing to like throw an idea out there and only explore it for a little bit, and then be like, all right, we're moving on to the next thing, which I think is
oh, you bastard. I really want to play Split Fiction. It's got so many good reviews, and I really liked It Takes Two. But I can't play it this week because I'm stuck playing the motherfucking Assassin's Creed review code we got.
I don't think you're supposed to say that. I think that's one of the many things you're not supposed to say.
I wish I wasn't so fucking dutiful.
Next time we get review code, just don't talk about it. Just don't talk about it.
I can't. I just really wanted to complain about how I can't play Split Fiction this week. I'm gonna have to. It's not so much the FOMO; it's the risk of running into spoilers in the wild. Just popping them out.
Just don't go on the Split Fiction subreddit. It's fine.
Twitter's broken. Yeah, where are you gonna get spoilers? Who's gonna spoil it to you? I'm the only one playing it on staff, and I'm not gonna say anything.
Looking at fucking YouTube.
Get out of YouTube! Get out of there!
Just the other day, I was like just scrolling the recommended thumbnails on the front page, and one of them was like, "Final boss of Split Fiction," with fucking that character in the thumbnail.
Oh fucking
YouTube.
Is it Mario?
Oh yes,
is Mario the final boss of Split Fiction.
But I digress.
That's my
pick. Jay, what's your pick for your dominant and or non-dominant hand?
Non-dominant hand. I'll go for most important with you guys. Even though it's my non-dominant, I'm gonna go with. Out of the 4 I've picked, I'm probably gonna say Mario 3 is probably my most important one. I think Mario 3 for me is where they really nailed the fluidity and weight of Mario, of how he controls. He feels less floaty and less slidey. And just the imagination in those levels. Yeah, they do get a little bit into the, as Yahtzee was saying, the kind of generic kind of areas, but a lot to do with like the ship levels and
I think it was the game that introduced the formula for the levels. Mario 1 was just, some bricks and then some underground bricks.
Yeah, and then
Mario.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
side story.
Mario 3 introduced so much of the formula. I mean, I guess we might as well get into it because it was actually my number 2 pick. It's my left-hand pick because I realized after I went for Thousand Year Door, Thousand Year Door only really works with context. It only really works for me as like a subversive comedy game if you understand what it's subverting, which is the standard Mario formula. And what's better for the standard Mario formula than the game that basically established it, Mario 3?
Yeah.
It's also introduced map screens.
Yep.
That was sort of new to video games as a whole when they introduced that.
Yeah, it introduced kind of the one-off challenges of like, oh, you'd have to fight these 2 Hammer Brothers on this one screen, or the mini games like, oh, try to play memory with Toad or match the little sliding things, which would then go on to sort of evolve in like Mario 64. You have the slide levels, like levels that are kind of one-off, bite-sized things that feel different.
I want to say we can blame the entirety of Mario Party, the Mario Party franchise, on the little side games in Mario 3.
Yeah, it's an extrapolation 100%. Of that. I'm not picking Mario 3. I'm actually picking Mario World. That's if I'm thinking of a core 2D Mario game, 3 set the mold. But to me, like so many Super Nintendo games did, the Super Nintendo one, just in my opinion, improves it in every way. I love 3, but I think World is a perfect game, like alongside Super Metroid and Link to the Past. Yeah, and I just like I feel like there's a little more technique at play with the cape compared to the Tanuki suit. You can do those sort of floaty things or ground pounds. And I like Yoshi. I think Yoshi's great. I also feel like the Mario world as a whole is kind of a more cohesive world in that you can see everything at the same time. You do things in one place that impact something somewhere else. You have the Star Road connecting everything, whereas Mario 3 are very kind of disparate. Here's the giant level, here's the snow level, here's Bowser's level, that kind of thing. Both great games. Yeah. But I personally prefer Mario World.
Yeah. No, I think 3 takes it for me just for being the pioneer. But I'll say this for World. It's one of the games that has one of my favorite things to do in the credits, and that's to show all the monsters and what their names are.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was really cute. Yeah.
As credits, Doom 2 did that as well. And that's the one overlap between those 2 games.
Yeah.
Super Mario World and Doom 2. Monster Showcase at the end that just tells you what all their names were.
There's got to be more. I'm sure chat can find more overlap between those games.
And it's really clever because you don't see their names anywhere in the game. And it's just like, here they are. You're like, oh, these things were called Charge and Chuck.
They're probably in the manual. That was one of my favorite things about manuals is that you'd read them and they'd be like, this Sfinky Donk. It's like, what? This is a rope.
This is where the lore is.
Yeah. It's fun to know the names of all the characters. All the monsters you've been murdering all this time. So that's 2 of yours. You have Mario Thousand Year Door and Mario 3. Jay, what's your second one?
I'm probably going to say Mario Kart Wii. I really, really like Mario Kart Wii, and I struggled with this one whether I was going to go with Mario Kart 8 because of its just wealth of content and probably the best feeling racing and drifting, and Double Dash because Double Dash is really, really good. But I'm just thinking about the one I spent the most time on as a kid. I just like coming back and getting the Wii and flexing the add-on. You could like slot the Wii controller in to have like a like the steering wheel. I remember as a kid thinking, wow, this is the future. Like I can race like this, even though it just feels like utter shit.
You were a little corporate sucker.
I was.
You were a kid when it came out, right? And it makes sense that like this was the thing.
Wait, how old was I? When did it come out?
It was 2000. Wii came out 2006. I don't know when this was, 7 or 8.
Yeah, I would have been in like 24.
Oh my god, 2008. Yeah, so I was Yeah, I was like 13.
Okay, yeah, that's an age where that would hit. Yeah,
Oh,
whereas like
Jesus,
when I was
man.
that age, it was like Kart 64, and then in like high school, it was Double Dash. That
Yeah.
those are probably the ones I spent the most time in. I guess now until 8 Deluxe, it's almost hard to like with like 8 Deluxe and Smash. It's almost hard not to choose those for their respective franchises just because they are so like kitchen sinky.
Yeah.
But I still agree. There's still those kind of you have those formative or nostalgic moments with whatever one came around at the right time.
Well, and also, like, as we were talking about the console, it was such a. This was before the podcast started when we were talking about the Wii Fit board and stuff. The Wii was so big that everyone had it, and everyone had Mario Kart. So wherever you went, if someone had a Wii, they had Mario Kart, so you could play it. But not everyone had a GameCube. Like, I played Double Dash as a kid, but like, not everyone had a GameCube. And
most people
could
didn't
play it.
It was a very low selling console. Yeah.
And like, you know, you could go to your mate's house and you'd be playing Mario Kart, and your mate's dad would come and play with you, and you'd absolutely school him because he sucks. And it just felt good. Mario Kart Wii, I just think it was on a different level socially than anything else.
I never played much Mario Kart. I don't have much nostalgia of Mario Kart. I never had a Nintendo console growing up. I got my first Nintendo console I owned was a GameCube that I bought in my 20s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never had that sort of attachment. All the Mario platformers I played sort of after the fact on emulators on PC.
Whereas I wouldn't feel like you'd have the desire to like I'm going to go back and play all the Mario Karts on emulators like that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the Katamari thing in that every new one just sort of made the fact that every new one made all the previous ones obsolete. Really, you only really needed the most recent one.
Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards whatever the one at that specific time was for them.
That kind of happens to all racing games in a way. Like, no, like
Well, it's
Gran
not that
Turismo, no one's going to play the old ones.
It's not that complicated a formula, is it? You go around the loop until it tells you to stop.
But this one is Donkey Kong. Think about that.
Now, Driver San Francisco. Now, there's a racing game that's...
I'm on that hype train. I also
unique.
love that game.
That we got one and only one of.
Yeah. So I guess that makes it
They're
easy.
just scared.
Yeah.
They're scared to make another.
Well, it was part of the Driver franchise, technically. It's the only one that does this really cool body hopping thing.
Yeah.
That worked incredibly well with the format, and I'm surprised no one else has done it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Put that in there. For my second pick, sticking with Mario, sort of tangential spin-offs, I think I'm going to do Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just in terms of kitchen sink stuff that has so much of Mario history, Nintendo history. Also, that is just like an incredibly playable game and will be forever. It's also got Angry Mario. Every once in a while, you need Angry Mario in there.
Grr, yeah. I dig that.
Grr. That's the noise Angry Mario makes.
Grr, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. Yahtzee, what would your third pick be?
See, we're not dwelling on that one at all then, I guess.
I mean, we can. Do you guys have...
I think you nailed it on the head.
Well, not really. I mean, I don't really give a shit about Smash Brothers. I mean, I briefly gave a shit when they introduced Joker from Persona 5 in it.
That was fun.
And I was like, yeah, I love Persona 5. It's nice to see him, meeting people.
Yeah.
I've told you guys about my time as a teacher with Smash Bros, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I used to teach kids. I worked in a school, and I ran a club at lunchtimes where it was like a board game club, and the kids weren't allowed to bring gaming consoles in, but I kind of on the sly let them bring their Switches in and play like under the table, like because I didn't give a shit. So I let them do that, and then in England, year 11 is like the eldest year, like you're about to leave school, basically. And at the end of the school day, a lot of the year 11s would come to my classroom. We'd hook up one of their Switches to the projector, and we'd have a mini Smash tournament every day for like half an hour. And I would sit there, and I'd let them play, and then I was like the final boss. So like whenever they would get through their like tournament, the person who won would go against me. And I would win every time. And I used to be like, hell yeah, I'm like showing these kids, and then suddenly realized like I'm beating children. These are literal children.
What am I doing?
I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you're like that weird dude in his like late teens and early 20s hangs around outside the school gates waiting for the 11th year girls to come out so he can buy them beers.
No, it was the 11th year boys, and I'm like, do you want to play Smash? I want to play Smash Bros.
Oh dear.
Would you? Who were you? Were you maiden someone at the time? Would you always be?
Yeah, it was bouncing between Richter and Bayonetta. I really like them. Mainly just because I love Castlevania. So
Sure. Yeah.
Well, you played Bayonetta. That's a clever tactic to use against teenagers.
Yeah,
It
they're just too horned up.
Yeah, throws off their hormones.
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god, she's doing the splits.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Okay, my third game, and pretty boring pick, but I think you'll find it hard to argue with. Super Mario Odyssey.
It's
As I
my
said,
third pick as well.
Oh,
not
wow.
much nostalgia for Mario, but I can't deny that it's a really good game from recent times.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played through it in my spare time when I didn't have to for work.
Oh my god, Games Media playing games for fun? I don't believe it.
Impossible. Is this your favorite 3D Mario?
Yeah,
I'd say so. I mean, if we can't say Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, I mean like 3D platforming Mario. Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely my favorite.
It's my favorite mainline Mario, shall we say.
Yeah.
Just polish.
It is extremely polished. Like, it is wild how polished this game is, how good movement feels in this game. It feels as good as any Mario game ever, especially, but Mario games are very accommodating to newcomers, but Cappy has such an interesting move kit to him to where if you like really do want to kick the tires on it, you can do some really crazy shit. Like this is one of those games that made me feel like a speedrunner more than a lot of other like any other game has, just because when I got the Cappy thing down of, oh, I'll do a long jump and then throw Cappy in the air and then leap to Cappy and jump off him. It's like, oh shit, I can like break these
feels
levels.
really good.
Yeah.
Also-
once I learned to do like the multi-hat and then dive thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hit the super jump.
It also like fixed this problem in 3D platformers where a lot of the times enemies just become moving hazards that you tend to avoid or jump over. But the Cappy's introduction made every new enemy introduction exciting for what they could potentially give me. And you could tackle them in different ways, use them to traverse the environment. It was extremely genius. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the whole possessing things with a hat. I think it's incredibly troubling and terrifying. But mechanically, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and it, going back to what we were talking about with kind of split fiction, or even maybe a better comparison would be Astrobot, but how some of the enemies that you gain control of have very specific mechanics that seem like they're only used like a few times in the game.
Yeah.
There's like that one that feels really good where you're like I think you're like a bird, and you got like you stick your beak out and stick it into the wall, and then you kind of got to like fling yourself up. Which is like such a fun, unique interaction that is again only used a few times in the game.
If you do the deep dives, you'll find a lot of bonus levels in like hidden tunnels and stuff that make like extensive use of these single mechanics as like one-off challenges.
Yeah.
Like,
Introduce them in base game. Yeah.
I'm weird. I'm not as like, I enjoy Mario Odyssey. I'm not as hot on it as most people are, and surprisingly just as much as I think I should be, because it just has everything on paper that I would love. I think for some reason the worlds almost feel a little too big to me.
I like that they're big. I tried replaying Mario Galaxy as well after like the 3D All Stars came out, and I just couldn't get into it as much.
Yeah, and I don't know, that argument doesn't hold water, because then I love Bowser's Fury, which is one big ass world, but I guess you kind of mentally you block it off and you're like, all right, this is the chilly zone and this is the one tower or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just trying to be a contrarian asshole.
I don't know. Like I felt the same way when it came out, and like I loved Breath of the Wild, and that's like the most fucking normie take of all time. Listen, most of my takes are normie, so every once in a while I have something different. For my third, also occupying the 3D slot, I was thinking about tossing Bowser's Fury in there, but man, Mario 64, I think, is mine because the thing I was mentioning earlier about a game coming around right at the right time and really hitting you. Like, this felt like the last time, maybe the first and last time in my life, games took a leap like this. Like, I can't explain what it was like to see this in motion and play it for the first time at like a Toys R Us a month before the month before the N64 came out. Like, that, I don't think I'll ever have that sensation again. And part of it's because kind of games aren't evolving that way anymore, and part of it's because I'm not going to be fucking 10 ever again.
Revolutionary.
That's a pretty nostalgia fueled pick. I again came to Mario 64 after the fact and found it hadn't held up terribly well.
I think it holds up really well, personally.
Oh,
It could be nostalgia.
The N64 version that hasn't had the controls changed by the All Stars pack if you're used to dual stick controls, for your platformers, feels like ass, but you can kind of forgive it for being the first one ever. Like, it's so revolutionary in everything it did. It created a genre, and its creation revolutionized 3D games. Like, as we've said many times before, the creation of the N64's controller was done specifically to create Mario 64. Like, that's why it exists. So we owe a lot.
First 3D Mario I played was Mario Sunshine, and I thought that was better than Mario 64 in every way. So there.
I think it is. I think a lot of the things with Mario, everything we've said, every game that's come afterwards is just better. Like, I think Odyssey is better than Sunshine. I think Odyssey is better than both Galaxy games. And I'm sure the next thing they announce, which I hope is going to be soon, is probably going to be better than Odyssey. Because they take the time to cook. They're so good. Like, my last pick that I have is where they've cooked the hardest, but we'll save that for when you guys have done yours.
I think Sunshine has my favorite vibes of the 3D Mario games.
Mario's on holidays.
Yeah, and I like how every level is like a little bit, and it's all the same island. You can see one level from another level, and I like the weird pinatas, or whatever the fuck those little.
Yeah, there's no token ice level.
Yeah,
no token ice level because it wouldn't make sense.
I just like cleaning stuff too. Feels good. This gave us, without this, no Power Wash Simulator.
Did you have a third pick, Jay?
That was Jay's.
My third pick was Odyssey.
Mario 3, Mario Wii, and Mario Odyssey. Mario Kart Wii.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Mario Kart Wii.
So this is your last
fourth. So yeah, my last pick. This is the bumhole pick between the bum cheeks. And this might throw you for a second, but I figure we've covered enough bases with my previous three that we can go a bit out there with the last one. And I'm going with Mario Party.
Interesting. I did not expect that from you.
Which one? 60?
Basically all of them. I mean, there's
my god, he has the entire Mario Party library up his ass.
Well, just pick the most recent one, whatever the most recent one was, because as we say, you only really need to play the last one. It's like Mario Kart.
I believe it was called Super Mario Party Jamboree, which should
Jamboree.
You don't need Party and Jamboree. They're the same thing. What are we doing?
Well, he's jamboreeing it up his ass.
And let me explain my logic here. We've got like the platformers, that covers the bases. We've got 1,000 Year Door, that covers the RPG bases. Everything else with Mario, you can get pretty much anywhere else. Mario Kart, whatever. There's racing games everywhere. Mario teaches typing. Fucking Mavis Beacon is a thing. Look her up. But I don't think
Did
Mario
you know she
Party...
wasn't real? She's not a real person.
Yeah, I know.
I learned that like a week ago.
It's like a Mrs. Butterworth situation. They just made up a character for the brand. I think Mario Party offers a unique experience that nothing else in gaming really offers. It is the experience of being completely fucked over by dumb luck. While the game only has nothing but cheerful smiles the whole time. Like, a lot of people play Mario Party without even playing it. They just turn all the players to AI control, and then they just watch and place bets on who wins. Because that you might as well. It's all fucking random chance.
We need to turn this into a gambling ring. I like this.
It's like how you could set up a program to like play out an entire game of snakes and ladders between you and like your sister, and then you might as well not play. So yeah, that's what would have happened.
Yeah, it's like playing Monopoly, but then at the end when you've won, your mum comes over and she says, "Well, actually, no. I think your sister's won."
And
Yes.
for for as many imitators who've tried to come for the throne for your, everything from the Sonic Shuffle to there's a Demon Slayer a board game thing like that that just came out. Obviously,
And of course,
Dokapon.
yes, your favorite.
Yeah, which the next Dokapon session will be Wednesday evening. By the way, everyone. It's I feel like no one's ever been able to kind of take the crown from Mario Party.
Quite, as I say, a unique experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my logic. What's
I
your
like it.
bumhole pick?
Go on,
Jay,
Marty.
what's up your ass?
Mine is a game where I think they really took a genre and really like rattled it up and pushed it to new heights that other games are just trying to kind of reach, and I don't think any have yet. And that would be Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
I didn't even fucking know there was a Mario basketball game.
There's a DS game or a 3DS game.
It's a 3DS game or a DS game. It's a 3-on-3 basketball game where you use titular Mario characters to play some basketball, shoot some hoops, and they've got cool moves and sassy
Are you being
backchat.
serious, or are you just like looking at the Wikipedia page and reading things?
No, I played this a lot. I really like this game.
Okay. I'm not trying to shit on your. It just sounded like you were like literally just like looking at like. Here's one screenshot, and it's got a court. It's got some people.
No, it doesn't go much deeper than that. You play in different themed Mario courts, and you play 3-on-3 basketball, and it's got a really neat like passing mechanic, like shooting from different areas of the court. Getting a 3-pointer from the fucking like the half point. So good. It's a shit game, but I love it.
Also, it has a bunch of Final Fantasy characters because it was developed by Square, and its composer is Soken, the guy who fucking knocks Final Fantasy 14 out of the park. Like he composed the music of that game. Like it's one of those games where if you look at like who was on the development team of this, you're like, Square, what's going on?
They cooked hard, and it's a fucking fever dream. When you play it, you're like, how does this exist, and how have they never done it again?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess that was just when they were kitchen sinking things. That's a good one to have up your butt because if it's like a DS game, it's probably easy to fit. It's very small.
Yeah,
100%.
All right, Mario, what's going up your prodigious behind?
Oh my god, it's going to be great because the whole goddamn island's going up there. I'm choosing for my last one Yoshi's Island, one where Mario takes a back seat or literal on the back of Yoshi.
How appropriate.
How appropriate.
Mario again, on the backside.
Oh no, I don't like Mario's back shots. No, we can't be saying that. This game I think is arguably the best 2D Mario game, even though it plays so differently than all the other ones. It truly does feel like a fever dream. It's aesthetics, it's music, it's relatively easy to complete, but very difficult to master in terms of getting everything in every level. It's like a tone that they've never been able to match. Like they went with Yoshi's Story afterwards, which was much more childish and storybook.
What about Yoshi's Woolly World?
Yeah, it never. I don't know. There's something about I like Woolly World, Yoshi's Crafted World, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. There's something about like this aesthetic that makes it feel like this game almost feels like Alice in Wonderland a little bit to me. And I don't know. It just feels like it's something that they haven't been able to match personally.
I'm not really a fan of Yoshi's Island mechanically. It feels like it adds a lot of fiddly extras to the standard like platforming format. The fucking egg throwing is fucking dreadful on all the.
I think the egg throwing is great. What do you mean it's dreadful? I think it's awesome.
With the fucking meter going up and down.
Yeah,
it's dumb. It's dumb.
I think it's great. I do think in terms of additional things like the items you can get and use feel a little superfluous to me. Like the
also I hate chasing
eat a watermelon. I think that adds an interesting layer. I think that's the least I ever want to get hit in a video game. Is
because
Yoshi's
of the screaming
Island.
baby.
Because of the screaming baby, and then I lose my stars, and then I have to run and find my baby. But could very well be that it falls right in my admitted nostalgia zone of the Super Nintendo / N64 generation. But yeah, which 3
I
of
don't
my
like
games
it.
were for.
I think it punishes you too much for making a mistake. First, you're like on the back foot for losing health. Then you're doubly on the back foot because you have to chase after the fucking screaming baby before you can continue.
It
There's a
prepared me for my
reinforcement
life
loop.
as a father. I'm not a father, but it's preparing me. I feel prepared.
It's you're prepped. You're ready.
Yeah. Got watermelons. I'm ready to spit seeds at people. I've been learning how to throw eggs. Very expensive hobby, by the way. Yeah. There's a lot. Were there any Mario games that kind of came close for you guys, like outside looking in?
Well, if we go to super chats, they'll probably bring up a few.
This is true.
I thought about doing a sneaky the original Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo as an example of it's important because it showed that Mario was not infallible, that the Mario brand could be could release something subpar, and kind of had Nintendo rethink the quality control on the thing. I think in retrospect, I think that movie is pretty good because it's so goddamn weird.
I guess I thought about Bowser's Inside Story as well, but I figured, I like that because it's subversive, and I've already got 1000 Year Door covering that base.
Yeah. Is that your favorite Mario RPG aside from 1000 Year Door?
I'd say so. Maybe. Probably up there with Super Paper Mario as well.
Yeah.
Probably on the same tier. If we were doing one of those awful ranked videos. S tier, 1000 Year Door. A tier, Bowser's Inside Story, Super Paper Mario, original Mario RPG, probably. If we're keeping to Mario RPGs for our ranking video.
Sure. Yeah, I was thinking about doing like a Double Dash or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on there, and I was also thinking I fucking love Luigi's Mansion 3. And that's very tangentially Mario, like he just shows up at the beginning and end.
One of the best animations I've ever seen.
It is.
He is undeniably in it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go super chat it up.
Yeah.
Because we've got another list of 4 to analyze with our very first one from Karita Cowboy, who gives 35 Zars, who says Mario Brothers 3, Mario the 1000 Year Door, already covered, and then Mario Sunshine and Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Yeah. Sunshine. How do you guys feel about the Rabbids games?
I liked the second one more than the first.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't crazy about either of them.
I played a bit of the Rayman Rabbids like original games, like the weird Wii like mini games, and the Rabbids just annoyed me to no end. Like they just rubbed me the wrong way, so I've just avoided anything to do with Rabbids since. So they might be great, but
they're just Ubisoft branded minions, aren't they?
And that's probably why I hate them.
Yeah.
French minions, who are also French, so it's confusing.
Oh my god.
Ryan Betts gives $2 and says Jack Packard lists every Mario game update when, referencing a bit we did back in the previous version of this series, Slightly Civil War, where Jack had to list every game that Mario had been in.
I don't even remember that.
Well, we didn't insist he do it. He just did it. He's weird like that.
Jack would do it. Yeah, Jack took some time last week because Adrian Brody, who won Best Actor at the Oscars, gave a very long speech, and so he built a spreadsheet with the length of every Best Actor speech compared to the length of the movie they won and which one largest percent. So yeah, this doesn't surprise me.
Who was the winner? Who had the longest comparatively?
I don't know. I think he sent me the finished spreadsheet, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think I clicked into it. I'm going to, though. I'm going to. I'll click it before our meeting this afternoon to figure it out.
Well, I can, I relate to having weird whims now and then. I mean, I've taken up baking at the weekend based on a weird
sweet rolls.
Those Belgian buns look so good, man.
I know. I was using Paul Hollywood's recipe, and I was using his formula for like the icing. And I don't know if there's something different about the confectioner's sugar, the powdered sugar in this country compared to the icing sugar they use in the UK. But the recipe, he recommended 200 grams with like 2 tablespoons of water, and that ended up turning into more of a glaze than anything else.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a from the Bake Off, one of the judges.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And Eric has posted how my buns turned out. Now, the icing is supposed to be like a solid white, just a solid white splat on the top.
Whereas this is just kind of melted in like a glaze.
Yeah, became more like a glaze. Also,
Yeah.
glacier cherries. I asked my wife; she didn't know what they were. Glacier cherries, not a thing in America.
It was like maraschino cherries, like bar cherries.
No, glacier cherries are candied cherries. They have a very long shelf life.
Oh.
Because they're basically they're like sugared.
Yeah, like bar
dipped in a
cherries, like
syrup.
maraschino cherries. Those are the same thing, right?
Yeah. I also made bread. I'm resolved to just make bread every Sunday, so I've got bread for my sandwiches all week.
I like that.
Hell yeah.
And very nice crumb, very nice bounce on this week's
How long
bread.
does it take you?
It was like a few hours. Well, most of that's waiting for proving, of course.
Yeah, how long do you wait for it to prove?
An hour, and I don't really have a proving drawer, so I'll just stick it in like the lower oven with a bowl of boiling water, and with a towel over it.
Smart.
Yeah, bread thoughts.
So that's how and it's I usually I got good kneading hands. Turns out my wife told me this weekend that she really thinks I have a flair for bread making because I've tried it twice and they both turned out beautifully.
Your wife said you've got good
hands-
kneading hands.
I've got very good kneading hands. My wife will tell you that.
Also, it's
Because
nice to do something that
bet.
you don't have to monetize and have a hobby become work. Just don't
Right,
monetize this and have this become work. I mean, it's kind of become work right now because you're talking.
I mean,
about
he's
it,
mentioning it right now at work.
There you go. Yes. So I got bread down. I think I'm going to try pie crusts.
Oh man! Once I went to homemade pie crust, I'm never buying store brand or like pre-made pie crust ever again.
Oh,
What I'm doing
really?
is-
Yeah.
See, what I'm doing is there's multiple British and Australian desserts I just miss. So I've just been making them myself. I've been making Millionaire's shortbread. I've made Belgian buns. And the next thing I want to make is miniature Mr. Kipling style apple pies.
Those like hand
Nice,
pies
like in
almost?
the yes,
apple
yes.
Yes.
Tiny little ones like this.
Oh. Aw.
But we digress. Dr. Theo gives $5 and says, got nothing for today, so enjoy my $5 for dog treats. Yeah. Toffee.
Oh, Ludo.
Oh, Toffee's eyes are opening, so that's
Oh, no.
because I said dog treats.
I'm gonna get a treat for Ludo.
Fair enough.
Incredible.
Sorry, I lost my place. Hang on.
I think we're on Gelden.
Yes, Skildon Yitic gives $5 and says, Mario teaches typing, Dr. Mario is missing, and Hotel Mario, just to really confuse future historians. Yes, the 4 worst Marios.
I think there's people who like Dr. Mario. I don't get I literally don't understand Dr. Mario. So
Well, it's just match 3, right?
yeah, but it's kind of confusing. I know it's like the things are falling from the sky. It's like match 3, but the things are falling from the sky, and I don't understand the pills.
Well,
I don't understand the pills.
I don't understand the pills.
Come on, Marty, back in your chair.
Back in your chair. Keep talking about Super Nintendo. Hey, tell us again how impressive Mario 64
Name
was.
all the Mario games.
Fucking geezer.
This is like reverse Buster move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Match 3, but where things fly down from above instead
Yeah.
of being shot up from below. Witticism gives $5. Says, can't make it live today. Stuck in Zoom calls all afternoon. Have $5. Keep up the good work.
Enjoy
Well,
your Zoom calls.
we could have done a
Cheers.
really shit podcast, and you'd never have known Witticism. And you gave us $5 anyway.
We should rank all the podcasts we've done. Worst to best. This
Name
will probably
every
get in the
podcast.
middle. Probably in the middle. This is one of our best ones, but it's definitely not one of our worst. I've had a good time so far.
Yeah.
Well, everyone managed to learn bread proofing tips.
There you go.
That's one thing we did.
Always love learning something.
I believe in Doo Man gives $2 and says Hotel Mario, Time Machine, Typing, and Sticker Star. I'm afraid Gildon
I see what
Yetic
you're doing.
beat you to that little gag. I believe in Doo Man.
I've never played Sticker Star. Is that notoriously a bad one?
Well, it's certainly notorious with me as a bad one because
Mm.
I hand it in my review.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were like, what are we doing with this formula? It just feels like
Yeah.
you're looking around your room and being like, the core mechanic in this game is fucking staplers.
Yeah, I literally.
Yeah.
Nidarom gives $2 and says, Galaxy, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Mario World, Mario Kart Double Dash. All previously covered. Thanks, Nidarom. Thank you for your very pedestrian list.
You said you're not a Galaxy man, right, Yahtzee?
No. You see, it's funny, like the tentpole Marios are sort of themselves divided into two. There's the open world hub-based Marios, your Sunshines, your Odysseys, and there's your challenge by challenge mode, which Mario Galaxy more falls into, and your Super Mario 3D World as well. And
yeah, they
I
feel
don't know.
more like iterations of Mario 3, like 3D iterations of Mario 3.
Yeah, I don't like it as much. I mean, it's still good. I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed.
Sure.
Unless Mario Odyssey was there with a huge dildo and a crooked smile.
I like the Galaxy games way more than Odyssey. I think especially Galaxy 2.
Why do you think that is?
I think the challenges are like we're looking at this footage right now of like Mario running on this kind of cubic shape, and it's doing all the sort of the gravity stuff, which is kind of the crux of the game. And I feel like that's such an interesting concept that not a whole lot of other games explore.
Yeah,
little things with centers of gravity that you run around.
But counterpoint, you can't get your nips out, so
yeah.
That's true. That is actually true.
I
I think there might only be one of these games you can get your nips out, and maybe like one of the Olympic games.
Why do you think it made it onto my list?
I mean, what if you were in the middle of a Mario Galaxy level and just thought to yourself, I don't want to do this. I want to go run off and play beach volleyball instead. You could do that in Odyssey.
That's true. You can do that with your nips a-flailing.
There you go. Yeah.
Nips asunder.
They're like 2 inches out of his body. It's freakish.
Mm-hmm. Just like
like little worms.
He's like me for real.
Hawker Bridging gives $4.99 and says, I'd pick different genres stroke eras. World for 2D, Odyssey for 3D, Thousand Year Door for RPG, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for other.
It's a very good list.
Well, that's one approach. And you hit upon basically the same stuff we did. So there you go.
You did great.
You smashed 8.
Nidarom comes back with $5 and say, what is a genre of video game you would be most interested in seeing Mario that hasn't already been done? What would a Mario Souls-like be like?
God, I don't
Mario Odyssey, we've seen it. There's that small level where he fights the dragon.
There's like a weird like fucking Miyazaki thing.
There have been Mario games that have been as hard as Souls-likes. I mean, especially towards the end of a lot of them.
Yeah.
What was
it's like hard to think of a genre that he hasn't done.
Right? No,
basketball.
Quite.
Oh no, he's done basketball.
Oh, no,
like he did RPG, he did turn-based tactics, he did.
Have there been any Mario visual novels?
I guess like Teaches Typing, or not Teaches Typing, but the shitty Mario, Hotel Mario and Mario Lost in Time, or Luigi's Dead.
What about dating simulators?
I mean, it sounds like Thousand Year Door is a dating sim for that fucking computer. So
yeah.
No, you joke, but there's a weird trend in Thousand Year Door where every female character is in love with Mario.
Sure.
Like the one that's heavily implied to be trans is in love with Mario. The fat opera singer one is in love with Mario. The female Goomba is established to be in love with Mario by the end.
Yeah.
The one person who's not in love with him is fucking Princess Peach.
Good. She's not in love with any of those freaks.
Sorry, Mario. I'd love to see. I'd love to see Nintendo's polish on a Mario FPS. Like, give me a Mario first-person shooter and justify that. Like,
I think they're very against the idea of. I mean, there's like guns or cannons ish in
Rabbids.
Rabbids, yeah, but I think they're very like. I think they've Epic tried to get Mario tie-ins with Fortnite, and I think they kiboshed.
And they said, "Fuck off."
Yeah, there's plenty of mods that bring Mario to like Doom and Half-Life if you really must.
Yeah, I think Traveler of the Stars said I think like originally Splatoon they thought about possibly doing with Mario, but realized that we could make a new IP.
Doesn't really work, yeah.
Yeah.
Nidarom. Oh, missed one. Hawker Bridging. Did I do the one? No, I'm confused myself.
No, you need to go one more down, Charles.
You're on Charles
Coates. Charles Coates. I'm a professional. Gives $10 and says, really loved Super Paper Mario, could not get into Odyssey. Unrelated, what are your thoughts on Elvis Costello? Also unrelated, what are your favorite licensed soundtracks? Dude, take it to a different fucking podcast. Maybe we'll do one on music next week. Jesus Christ. We're trying not to digress too much. Oliver's Army is really good. It's a banger.
What's the one song? Allison. The Elvis Costello song Allison is a banger.
Okay.
That's my thoughts on Elvis Costello.
I can only think of Oliver's Army.
No, shout out to Oliver though. I can't believe Oliver made a whole ass army.
It's probably my favorite song in which the N word appears in the lyrics.
Great. I'm proud of you.
And bearing in mind I don't really like hip hop.
I can tell by
Elvis Costello's hip hop.
Yeah. If Bob
who's my favorite rapper? Elvis Costello.
Yeah. If Subterranean Homesick Blues counts as rapping, then sure, Elvis Costello could be a hip hop artist.
There you go.
Names Not Fits gives 100 Swedish kroner and says, I picked Luigi's Mansion 1, 2, and 3 because I won't have a chance to play them if all Mario games are destroyed. Let's keep Mario Teaches Typing as a representation for all Mario-centric games.
So your choices are Luigi's Mansion 1, 2, and 3 and Mario Teaches Typing?
Okay, if you had to burn all Luigi games and had to pick 3.
The Luigi's Mansion 1, 2, and 3. And then, I don't know, I just put a Luigi figurine in my ass.
What was that one new Luigi Brothers game they did for Wii U?
Super Luigi Brothers Wii U or whatever, or
new
Super Luigi U.
What's the new one that came out? Big Super Mario Bro.
Big Super Mario Bro. Yeah, Big Super Mario Bro loves. Are you thinking of the Brothership?
Yeah,
I'd argue in the Mario and Luigi games, Luigi is often treated as more as the main character than Mario is. Especially in something like Dream Team, where the whole game revolves around his secret power of being able to fall asleep.
I have that power.
I have that power too. I can go to bed whenever I want.
The Brain Sturgeon gives €6. Says, I wanted to give a super chat for Yahtzee to do his most uninspired Mario imitation, but I got that at the start of the show. So here, have some money. Some money? Waha! It's a me. Yippee.
Yeah,
that's Wario.
That's almost surprisingly uninspired. Like, I didn't think you were going to be inspired, but that was like shockingly uninspired.
Well, I can't really do falsetto is the problem. Like, my voice doesn't go that high. It just scrapes out.
Was that you trying?
So you trying?
That's impressive.
Wahoo!
Wahoo! My voice is so deep and rich and chocolatey. It just can't go falsetto.
Yeah.
I go.
And ladies, he's got good kneading hands. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he likes that one Elvis Costello song.
I'll need your baps anytime.
See how the glaze turns out, dude. Next super chat.
Oh. Abdel Corrales, member for 15 months in the Green Gang, says, hello, guys. Have a good week.
Thanks, you. Abdel. I appreciate that.
Cheers, Abdel.
And then Alex Armstrong gives $5. Says, Mario Kart 8. I almost said Mortal Kombat there because I just said MK8. Mario Kart 8 DX for lots of racing content, Bowser's Inside Story, and Paper Mario 2 for fun skill-based RPGs that are subversive, and Sunshine because I love beach.
Oh.
Yep. Life's
I
a
love
beach.
Beach too. Beach is really nice.
Yeah. Every time I go out into the club, I go, hey, where my beach is at?
Mm-hmm.
And then Elvis Costello starts playing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the beach. I'm not a fan of warm. I'm not a fan of sand.
You're not a fan of the beach in real life?
Man.
As in like beaches?
The Leonardo DiCaprio movie, The Beach. No,
I like
you're not a fan of beaches in real life?
movie, The Beach.
You're not into the
like
fine beaches.
You need to go to, but your problem is you've been going to like British beaches, right? Those are sad beaches. Go to some happy beaches.
Sad beaches. That is the perfect way of describing a British beach.
Are they not? Are they like?
Yeah.
Like go to like Hawaii. There's happy beaches there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's lovely. No, I just don't like the heat and I don't like sand. Like I'm like Anakin.
It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
He liked the heat. He ended up living on Mustafar. That place is hot as hell.
Yeah, but also the heat took his arms and legs, mate. He does not like the heat.
Nah, his hubris did that.
Yeah.
Facts, dude.
I guess that's why he went to live on Mustard Far. He just wanted to make it clear to
punishment,
Lava that there was no hard feelings.
Making up.
Why did everyone who got fucked up in that movie went to live on the shittiest planets ever? It's like Obi-Wan's like, I'm gonna live in this terrible desert, and he's like, I'm gonna live in fire, and Yoda's like, I'm gonna go marry this snake in this swamp and live with her for the rest of my life.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's almost like George Lucas hadn't really thought it through.
No, not my George Lucas.
Elise T gives $9.99 and says, the ending to the Glitz Pit chapter of 1,000 Year Door makes me tear up. Only that and Rosalina's story in Mario Galaxy have ever had that effect. Wish Miyamoto wasn't so story-phobic. Sigh.
Glitz Pit stuff is really good. I also really
the
like
only two games that have made you cry. The only two games that have made you cry. Oh, okay, I was gonna say the only two games that made you cry, both Mario games. That's impressive.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious if the Mario RPG games get story-ish. I don't think like a 3D Mario platformer needs a story, right?
Well, it's nice to have.
I don't know. Is it?
No, this is something I've often said. Nobody says this didn't need this story if the story's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, if it's bland. Monster Hunter being the prime example of the story. Would you rather a game have gameplay and no story, or a story and next to no gameplay?
I guess I'd prefer to have gameplay, because if you might as well just watch a movie if you just want the story.
Interesting.
I mean, that's kind of a horrible question to ask me, because I'm narrative gameplay. That's all. That's what I'm into.
Yeah. The fucking Mario hat got put on the plushie, which are available right now, guys. You can go get one.
Incredible.
Well, yes, we know who's important.
Without the Mario hat.
Zaratha is member for 14 months in the Green Gang and says, I blame my lateness on daylight savings. Yeah, bloody daylight savings. We had at my house, we had to gradually bring the girls' bedtime back 10 minutes at a time over the last 6 days.
Because they're young, right? So they probably get up really early.
Yeah, right, pain in the ass. But they also go to preschool, so we have to get them up pretty early.
I see. Bless them.
Alex Armstrong gives $5 and says, my birthday's Friday, reaching my 30s, going out for sushi and golf. As a present, can you guys please pretend you're high on Coke for the next 30 seconds? Oh, I've drunk way too much of a popular soda this morning. Oh, that's made me really buzzy. Oh, I just love that fizzy taste.
Oh, McCavity's a bussin', as the chillin' would say.
Oh my god, I got a nosebleed for doing so much cocaine in this bathroom.
Hi, you ruined the bit.
Oh, sorry. I didn't understand the bit.
He's high, dude. He doesn't understand what we're doing.
Yeah, Good morning, Rails.
Richard Wells gives $10, says, just getting some love out there for Fortune Street, the Mario Monopoly game that also includes the ability to invest and collect dividends from other players' properties.
The way you explain it makes it sound so bad.
I think it was bad. I think it was a side game in one of the Mario parties.
What is?
Yeah.
Well, Fortune Street's an actual game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Fortune Street's its own.
Well, there was definitely a level in one of the Mario parties that was basically Monopoly, and you had to buy property and stuff.
Yeah, it was like a series that's relatively big in Japan, a Square Enix series called Itagaki Street, I think, and then there was a Fortune Street for Wii that has Mario, and it has little slimes from Dragon Quest and shit like that. Yeah, and it's more Monopoly than Mario Party.
Oh, look, the next super chat comes from one Eric Weichart, who gives 100 Argentinian pesos and says, Marty, what do you think about the best Yoshi game entry, Yoshi's New Island? The soundtrack puts Mario's cry to shame and is on 3DS because it could break the glass from a CRT screen.
I never actually played it. I don't like any of the games that have new in them. I don't like new Super Mario Brothers. I feel like that's some try-hard shit that I did not enjoy.
You're on record that you don't like Fallout New Vegas, then?
I don't like any of the Fallout games, so yes, I am on record.
Oh, okay.
I think they're baby RPGs for babies.
Oh, no.
You should play RPGs where the characters kiss. Why don't you go play RPGs where the characters kiss? I don't know if anyone kisses in Fallout.
Does that? I'm trying to think of like Persona games where you actually see the main character kiss their love interest. So I'm not sure.
Oh, I draw
he does that.
I draw it myself, and so I get to that part, and then I go to my flipbooks.
I mean, I've seen him cuddle them a few times, and occasionally, like, they'll fade to black and say, and then you spent the night together doing something that we won't mention because we had to sell this game in the West.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about priorities, though. If they animate kissing, that takes away from the UI animation budget. So we can't be having that.
That's true. That UI is real nice. They showed a bunch of the behind the scenes of kissing in Death Stranding 2 yesterday, which, by the way, Death Stranding 2 got a release date, June 26th. Let me tell you.
I can't wait to walk butt again.
Extremely excited. There's a character who's just Solid Snake in the game. There's a trailer. A dude with like a scruff, and he's like a military dude, looks up, takes his bandana off, and puts it around his forehead. I'm like, you're just Solid Snake.
Does Norman Reedus kiss the baby in Death Stranding 2?
On the cover, he's literally kissing the baby.
He's kissing the baby in the cover, yeah.
But no, mocap's kiss is between Norman Reedus and Leia Sedu's character, Fragile.
I don't want to see them kiss. I want to see Norman Reedus cover himself in his own poo to fight ghosts.
Oh, you're absolutely going to do that. Don't worry. I'm very excited about this game.
Anyway.
I'm not saying it's going to be Game of the Year confirmed, but it's going to be Game of the Year confirmed.
Hi, Toffee Pot. Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, of course, no one picks the Mario and Sonic Olympic Party games. Well, no. Because...
kind of bad.
Shit.
Because Stalin's fine with Sonic. Stalin loves Sonic.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Stalin was in this thought exercise at the beginning.
Remember?
Shout out to Shirtless Wario, by the way.
Has he got nips?
I have a fantasy football team called Shirtless Wario, and it's just this pick.
Did they put swimsuits on the characters when they're swimming in Mario and Sonic?
Yeah, you get like costume changes depending on the event.
Does Princess Peach wear a swimsuit? I'm just asking for a friend.
Probably like a one piece.
Oh, disgusting.
I can give you some pictures.
Eric, pull that up. Where? Just so I can avoid it. Eric, pull that up.
Pull it up so we can block it.
Yeah, Eric, pull it up so we know what not to look at.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Hurry up.
Yeah, I'm about to move on to the next super chat, Eric. You got to speed this up.
That's disgusting.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's grim. Good outfits, though.
That's grim.
Look at goddamn karate outfit.
Guys, what's the keybind for print screen? I mean, leaving the call. I got it.
Eric, did you make all of these? Did you make all these JPEGs really quickly?
He made them.
You quickly submitted an art request to Pat Manathan?
Orca Bread Jane gives Ward $99 and says, no love for Luigi's Mansion games. Well, I guess we
talked about him earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. I guess Stalin's still fine with Luigi, but he's on thin fucking ice. That guy.
Stalin's pro-ghost, so he doesn't like...
Famously, Stalin is pro-ghost.
Pro-ghost.
That's why he killed all those people.
Luigi turned Mario in. That's why Luigi's still in the inner circle.
Luigi turned Mario in. Amazing.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Like Molotov with his wife. Anyway. Fenley gives $10 and says, want to thank Yahtzee for motivating me to run, as that's when I listened to his audiobooks, finished Mogworld and on to Jam. Never played Mario, but Super Frog would take Mario any day in my biased mind. I remember Super Frog. That was an Amiga platformer.
Super Frog.
Fenlig, I'm genuinely impressed. And I don't mean this as a bit or a joke. I'm impressed that you haven't played a Mario game. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
It's like not knowing who Mickey Mouse is.
Keep not playing Mario games.
No, if you got this far, fucking go for the long haul. Go till you die.
It's like never having watched Scooby-Doo, but knowing what Brave Star is.
I like that.
Anyway. Oh shit. Super Chat's jumped ahead of me. Tinker DD gives $5. Says, instead of getting laid, I spent all my high school senior year making Mario Maker levels.
But
don't get laid in high school. It's always bad sex, and you might accidentally father a child.
I mean, there's always the risk of that.
I think they had that in the next Persona game.
But I think
you fathered a child, you have less free time in the evenings now.
I mean, let me make an uncontroversial statement here. The first time you have sex will be bad sex.
Speak for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess you'll find out.
It's always built up in your mind, but the moment you actually do it, the first time you do it, neither of you are going to know what the fuck you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I peaked early.
Mm. With Mario Maker, I remember being at uni, and I got really high with a game dev friend of mine, and we spent
And had
an
sex.
entire night. Yeah, we had really
sex.
bad sex. We had really bad
Having
sex, but then after we finished that,
Warned ya.
we spent all night just making a Mario Maker level where Mario went into an underground, like an underwater submarine base, and had to retrieve documents and then escape while it was exploding. And waking up, yeah, it was a fever dream. It was weird.
I want to play this game.
It was like Metal Gear Solid 2 Tanker chapter, but with Mario.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So I'm just giving Toffee some privacy while he noshes his bits.
Okay.
A little bit nosher.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, "Would DKC and WarioWare count as Mario games to you?" No, Mario doesn't even appear in those. Luigi's Mansion he at least appears in.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say no to those. They're like a part of the Mario extended family, but like they're not invited to the wedding.
They were spin-offs. I would say Splatoon is a Mario spin-off because the Squiddy dudes remind me of the Squiddies in Super Mario.
Little bloopers.
Yeah, they do look very similar to the bloopers.
Like the one you torture horrendously in Mario Sunshine by pulling all his legs off.
That is that is like terrifying when you do that.
They both just look like squids. I've discovered the thread.
Alex Armstrong gives $2. Oh, hang on, missed one. Snake in the Garden gives €2 and says, "Yachts, hashtag food premium. Would love to see your bakes." Snake in the Garden, were you the same Snake in the Garden who got a question read out on the Rest is Entertainment podcast this last week? Because they were talking about, they read out a question that they emphasized came from their Discord, which was unusual for them because they're not a gaming channel. And so they said they got a question over Discord from someone called Snake in the Garden, and I immediately thought that can't be our Snake in the Garden.
Oh, it was
surely.
our Snake in the Garden. Snake's famous.
Hey!
It was.
Big shout out to Snake in the Garden.
Well, kudos to Snake in the Garden for getting
what kind
shouted
of
out.
podcast is this? Or a stream,
It's like
it's
about like insiders from the TV and film industry, and this is like high level podcasting. They spun off from the Rest is Politics. It's like they get millions of views.
Oh my god. There's the titular snake in said garden.
Jay, the host of the Rest is Entertainment is Richard Osman.
Oh,
whom you would know.
The Green Goblin?
No, not that one. What the fuck are you talking about?
Norman Osborn. Was that not?
No, Richard Osman.
I like the Green Goblin joke.
He's a hyper intelligent TV host.
Yeah.
Stupidly intelligent.
He was like the co-host on Pointless for the longest time, and then they realized, hey, he's actually incredibly witty. Let's make him a TV host in his own right.
Yeah.
I blame this on Snake. The reason we ventured here is your fault, Snake.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says, "No Smash, even though it's more Nintendo than Mario."
I literally had Marty, Smash on my list. Alex, what are we doing?
Had it on his list.
What are we doing? I talked about Luigi's Mansion. Am I a ghost? Am I not here? Is it because I made that Green Goblin joke? I made that after those moments.
I also then spoke about me turning children into dust through Smash. So, we definitely spoke about that.
But to answer your question, no, we're not fucking talking about Smash, Alex, ever again.
No.
We're only talking about PlayStation
Smash.
All-Stars Battle Royale.
Oh, God. Sean Schultz gives $5 and says, "What is your favorite Mario game or game with Mario that is not a platformer?" Thousand Year Door, Sean Schultz. Why are we still here?
Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Do you want to count Thousand Year Door as a platformer? There's some platforming in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think of that. I think my favorite Mario RPG is Mario RPG, the original one, because it falls in that short window where everything was good in life and nothing was bad. So it makes it the best.
Mappy1964 gives $5 and says, "The ones that show the growth: Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3, World, Galaxy." By the way, thank you, Yahtzee, for being one of the few people that are still making videos after 15 years. Oh, don't sell the rest of the internet short. There's also the Angry Nintendo Nerd.
Okay, AVGM.
And, oh god, I was so young.
I bet you can put your leg behind your head there.
Look at that non-grey beard.
Could that person have put their leg behind their head?
I think he could have done, yes.
That's not a chair, Marty. That's his legs.
Yeah, wearing leather pants. A superb owner gives $5 and says, "Gents, which long-form video essayists would make your Mount Rushmore? For me, it would be Jacob Geller, Fat Brett, Daryl Talks Games, and the Mason Scale. I'd put H Bomber Guy on there. He's a bro. We've met up in real life and everything.
Yeah. H Bomber Guy, Joseph Anderson would be on there for me. Jacob
Dan
Geller.
Olsen, Folding Ideas.
Dan Olsen, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too. Jacob Geller would definitely be on mine. Maybe Eye Patch Wolf, Super Eye Patch Wolf.
Super Eye Patch Wolf, yeah.
I really like Euro Thug. Daryl Talks Games is really great as well.
I like Eye Patch Wolf, but I wish he didn't sound so sexy all the time.
Oh, he sounds so sexy. He also looks sexy, though, is the thing. He's got like a 3-hour wrestling video coming out soon, which I'm very excited for.
Every time he goes into his breathy, sexy voice as he's describing something like that's made him very emotional, it gives me strange feelings in my pants.
Yeah, his horror videos. All he does is breathy, sexy voice. It's like, damn, dude, too sexy.
Alex Armstrong is $5 and says, "I know Yahtzee thinks nothing of it, but Paper Jam deserves a second chance. 2 legendary RPGs with lots of potential, and the result's a boring formulaic mess." Okay.
Wait. It deserves a second chance, but then it's bad?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's on about there.
Do you mean a second chance is in a sequel?
Oh, like
I think they should try
this.
They should try again.
Wasn't Paper Jam a single game? Was Paper Jam 2 games? 2 legendary RPGs?
It was a crossover. It was a Mario and Luigi game and also a Paper Mario game, and it wasn't very interesting for all that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't play any of the Mario role-playing games. I played them all up until Super Paper Mario, or the console ones until Super. I guess I've only played the console ones. I've never played any of the handheld ones. That's the easy way to say that.
Is the Switch a handheld or a console?
I consider it a console, even though it is also handheld. I meant like core console ones. Yeah, but a good question.
Hawker Bridging gives $1.99 and says Mario had a rail shooter FPS Super Scope SNES game.
That was Yoshi. Yoshi Safari.
No one remembers. Okay.
I don't believe Mario might have been in it, but that was Yoshi Safari. Yeah, that was back in the early '90s, where fucking Nintendo could do a little crazy.
Well, there you go.
Look at that! Look at this shooter. Is Yoshi your gun? Are you holding Yoshi to kill people? Very strange.
He's the gun, like High on Life.
Yeah,
you're just holding him by the neck and squeezing to fire.
Yeah.
Gun gives RSD 100 and says Mario Doom Wad. Yes, as I brought up earlier. There's also a weird psychological horror Half-Life 2 mod where you play as Luigi.
Interesting.
I think it's called Corridor 7. But you play Luigi and you escape from a mental institution, and then you go back to your house and Mario has hanged himself. That's actually surprisingly well done.
That could be a third Mario moment to cry at, alongside Thousand Year Door and Rosalina. There you go.
Sussy Guru 2000 gives €5. It says, "Is there some kind of law that the older you get, you automatically get into old people hobbies? Is it genetic? I suspect I might be baking more because I'm midlife crisising all over the place."
Sure.
Because it's a symptom of midlife crisising to start getting into new hobbies, I think.
Yeah. And again, like I mentioned earlier, it is extremely nice for us to have hobbies or things we're interested in that we don't have to constantly be like, how do we turn this into a video? How do we turn this into work? Which it's hard for any form of entertainment, because we're then like, where do I talk about this movie? Where do I talk about this TV show? I know that's like first world problems, but something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
Alex Armstrong gives $2 and says Dangerous Dave in copyright infringement is best. Now I actually know this particular deep cut. This is a reference to id Software when they were just starting out. John Carmack, being the amazing engine programmer that he was, wanted to see if he could make 2D scrolling platformers on PC, which at the time was quite a primitive games development platform. So he basically ripped off the first level of Super Mario Brothers and made it on like MS-DOS. and he called it Dangerous Dave in copyright infringement.
Pretty funny.
And that was the engine that went on to become the Commander Keen games. And he also made a game called Dangerous Dave in the Haunted Mansion, that referenced the same IP, as it
What a
were.
legend.
Yeah. You're surprised I knew that, Alex Armstrong. But guess what? I've also read the little booklet that came with the massive id Masterpiece collection that came with basically every Doom, Quake 1, all their previous games, and like a little pewter cyber demon and a t-shirt, all in one massive box.
That's neat.
That's awesome.
Also a copy of the Doom comic book, which is a nice bit of context for Doom 2016 onwards. Charles Coates gives $5 and says, apologies for my previous questions. Someone earlier asked about genre, but what is a graphic style you'd like to see Nintendo experiment with Mario?
Ooh, what's is rubber hose animation the thing that's like Cuphead and like old animated cartoons? I'd like to see Mario looking like that.
You want to see Mario rubber hosing all over the place?
Yeah, I want Mario's hose just wilding out. Mario and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit spending time together.
Of all things.
Realism. Give me hyper realistic million polygon nips.
You want to see
That
Bob
was,
Hoskins like
Bob Hoskins,
puffing his way?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
god,
there you
okay,
go.
I take
There
it
it
back.
is.
I take it
Yeah,
back.
Bear.
I take it back.
That
there.
old chestnut. A superb owner gives $2 and says, briefly pictures a potential recursive Mario game. No. I'm hungry. Piss off.
Mario goes to the bonfires and sits down and then has to kill the skeletons and then goes back to the bonfires.
Yeah. Yeah, like the dry bones already do that. They just get up after you've already killed them.
Think
Here
about
we
it.
go.
There you go.
We're not thinking about it.
Nick Knoll gives $10 and says, Jamate was re-listening to the Willow streams. You told a story where someone in your D&D group stole an airship powered by enslaved wizards. Question, did he free them? Were they allowed to unionize?
I think I told this story on a few Windbreakers ago, so I won't go too deep into it. But yeah, they stole the ship. The ship was it was our pirate stream where I said I had the spell sails, the pirate ships that flew over the dunes, powered by the bottom of the ship was enslaved wizards that would cast levitation spells on the ship.
No,
they didn't.
You can't achieve with enslaved wizards.
Exactly. So it then became them trying to keep the wizards happy and not revolting, which became the plot. But no, they didn't free them, and they didn't unionize, but they would pay them.
Hey, I just realized the second book in my Dida Files series is about enslaved wizards.
Well, there you go. It's a good plot point.
Because if you're going to have wizards, sooner or later someone's going to want to enslave them. Ian Thompson gives £1.36 and says, nothing. You're afraid you have to donate a bit more to start muscling in on Tsunami Douche's turf.
Oh.
And then Fungus Finder gives $2 and says, Double Dash and 3 copies of Mario Kart 8. I guess you must like Mario Kart games.
Fungus Finder is extremely good at Mario Kart. Fungus
I really like Mario
with
Kart.
us on little cheat streams, and Fungus Finder is excellent.
It's like one of the only people that can beat me, and it fucking frustrates me so much.
Sucks at everything else, so terrible at everything else, so it's fine.
There you go.
You can rest.
Yeah, especially lovemaking.
Wow, no, Fungus Finder made a whole child, so at least is good at one lovemaking.
You don't need to be good at lovemaking to make a child. I would argue that producing a child implies you're actually very bad at lovemaking.
Safe lovemaking, yeah.
Anyway, Will Cooling gives £2 and says, no love for Wonder, a surprising return to 2D form. Yeah, it's funny how no one really brings that game up anymore. Just sort of came and went.
That is such a weird game. I 100%ed it over the course of the first weekend it was out, and I loved my time with it, and I've legitimately not thought about it since.
It's the avatar of Mario games.
Oh my god.
I think that's the curse of a lot of 2D Mario games, because they just kind of blend together.
Possibly.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
This game definitely did that thing where like I was impressed by so many of the ideas. I love the different transformations with the Wonder Flower or whatever.
I get that it does a lot of new crazy ideas, and yet for some reason I feel very little motivation to play through it.
You reviewed it, didn't you?
Nope.
Oh, that was right around when we came here.
Yeah.
We started second wind. So that makes sense.
Nope, he said gleefully.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I never think about it.
There you go. Dr. Theo gives $5 and says, okay, I thought of something. Ever heard of Mario the Music Box? It's known as one of the best creepypasta games. I haven't played it, so I can't judge yet.
No.
I like my pasta more. I like Italian pasta. I don't like creepy pasta. This game looks scary. This art looks scary. Why is anyone playing this scary game?
Well, it's supposed to be scary, isn't it?
Why is the pasta so creepy?
People love making creepy things out of the things they loved as children. Like
Oh
Five
my
Nights at
God.
Freddy's just sort of cut out the middleman there.
That's true. This has good reviews on itch.io.
Yeah. Oh, they like anything on that.
They're the me of free video games.
Oh, look who it is, everyone. It's Tsunami Dusha, who gives us $20 and says...
What?
Nothing.
Oh.
Yes, I was saying nothing to illustrate the fact that he was saying
Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, fuck.
nothing.
I didn't read the stage direction.
Will Cooling gives £2 and says Rich Ledbetter from 90s UK Mags is still going. Oh, that took me a moment to pass that. Rich Ledbetter, a person who used to write for 90s UK video game magazines, is still going, apparently.
I bet he's baking
Well,
bread.
good on you, Rich.
I used to write for video game magazines. I used to do the odd feature article for Australia's own Hyper magazine before
Whoa.
I was an internet journalist.
How are they doing now?
I don't know.
I
I
bet
haven't
the
lived
rest
in
of the
Australia
magazine's
for
non-existent.
quite a while.
Oh, is that the guy? Isn't that guy Richard Leb? Isn't that guy from Digital Foundry? I
Mm.
might just think might just be another ball guy. Is that Jack? Is that Darren? Oh, he is Digital Foundry. Yeah, I know who he is.
AZK gives $5 and says, my biggest Mario hot take, Chris Pratt was perfectly fine. Of course he was perfectly fine, AZK. Chris Pratt is generic actor man. His job is to be perfectly fine in absolutely everything he does. Never a standout, but never sucky either.
I think he
This is
was
true.
a standout when he had a little punch. When he was like Andy on
Yeah.
Parks and Rec, he was
But then
great.
he just bulked up for Guardians of the Galaxy, and now he's just generic actor man.
What did Jack say? You can't be handsome and funny. You gotta be one. He got too
There you
handsome.
go.
He lost his funny.
Andre Franco gives €6 and says, I don't really like Mario all that much, so it's doggy treat money for today. Have a nice day, folks.
I don't even know what it would be like to not like Mario. It'd be like saying I don't like pizza. What do you mean you don't like pizza?
Well, try to get into the mindset of someone who was really into Sonic the Hedgehog in the 90s.
Eric?
Oh, so an idiot.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's Eric. That's our
Oof.
Eric.
Get fucked, Eric.
Stone-
Dundum. Absolutely Dundum. Oh, look at that dog.
Eric is very
cold.
quickly trying to find Sonic shit to put on the screen. He's typing so quick.
Jay the Hedgehog.
Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of those. A superb owner gives $2 and says, we all know Kojima's Super Mario and Princess Beach.
I like it. It's very clever.
Yes.
That's a line.
there you
That's a
go.
line in the hit Mario games.
Yeah.
Or in the hit
Just-
Test Stranding game.
And Just Existing 45 gives $2 Canadian and says, hey guys, thank you for being you. Love from Canada.
You're welcome, Canada.
Thanks,
I'm sorry
Canada.
Thank
that our
you.
country is
Yes.
terrible to you right now.
Please-
We promise
please
you
don't-
can remain a
Please-
country.
Yes. Please don't be annexed, Canada.
Yeah.
Please do your best to avoid that
Please.
happening.
Please.
Just shut off all of our electricity. We'll eventually learn.
Well, that's it for the super chat. Oh, hang
there's
on.
another one.
Oh, another one just popped into existence. Ian Thompson gives £2 and says, sketchiest review. I had to do Kandagawa Jet Girls.
Is that a game? That is a game. We do some research on this game.
Well, I remember playing that, what was it called? Beyond Citadel on Yahtzee Tries, and it ended up being a very filthy weeby game with lots of exposed bum cheeks.
Wait, was
Hell
that
yeah.
the one we played?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, where like your character
Yeah.
gruesomely dies every time.
Oh, when you
Yeah.
look down, you're like your gun clips through your tits. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see your titties when you look down.
You know what? Killer is Dead. I got called like an SJW prude because I didn't like Killer is Dead. That was the Suda game, the Suda Grasshopper game on like 2014 or so.
I think there's a lot to dislike about that game even before you get to the treatment of women.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like, and I fucking love Killer 7, which is why I jumped to review that game. But I thought the game was really bad, and then I just had a bit about like how it's really gross that there's like ogling mini games where you need to like it's first person, you need to ogle the women and then look away. It's like red light, green light, except you're trying to ogle women.
Yeah, it's basically trying to horn himself up to get in the mood for seducing the lady.
Imagine dying on that hill. Imagine like making your personality be around like just sexy games, and people who don't like them, you just go after them.
Well, and my thing is like this, like that was just one of the 10,000 bad things about the game. The game was also a bad game. Like, I don't know.
There was a thing in MGS4, like if you went to the first-person camera right when Snake was looking down someone's top, it would make his like psychological well-being meter go up.
Oh yeah, no, listen. Kojima puts all sorts of pervy shit into his game, but it works. They're good games. You can not like the pervy shit, but they're still surrounded by good games. There you go. Death Stranding 2 coming soon.
Did you know if you pointed your camera at the Beauty and the Beast characters after they'd like been stripped out of their robot shells, they'd like start posing for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. In sexy ways. Sexy ways.
Genius.
Well, now that is the end of the Super Chats. So thank you for listening to the Windbreakers podcast on this lovely Mar-EO, or March 10th. I hope it was everything you dreamed it would be. Lots of content on Second Wind all week. I'm Yahtzee Croshaw, and I'm going to plug my stuff now. Fully Ramblematic this week is... you may be interested to learn is a new installment in a recurring series in my review series that is now finally making the leap from the previous umbrella to the Fully Ramblematic title.
Fast and the Furious?
An occasional series I would pull out when I didn't have anything handy to review in a week.
Which is ironic because then all of a sudden there's too many games.
Yes.
You're complaining
2 weeks ago there was no games. And now there are too many games.
This is how it works. Like, I remember that. I still remember fondly that day 3 fucking major games came out the same fucking day. I think it was Mario Odyssey, Wolfenstein New Order, and one of the Assassin's Creeds. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins.
October 27th, 2017. That was a day.
Same fucking day. That set my schedule for the next 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And also Yahtzee Tries on Wednesday afternoon, as always. My little stream of little indie games. And that'll be it for me until the new episode of Adventure is Nigh on Saturday this coming week. Ooh.
It's episode 3, correct, of the season?
Yes. And then the edited Yahtzee Tries video on Sunday. I was joined by Jay and Marty, who will also now be plugging things.
Jay, you had a new video go up this morning.
I had a video go up, a few hours ago. I released a video on Monster Hunter and why it keeps making itself worse and why I love that. So you can learn all about that, hear me complain for a bit, and then hear why. What else have we got? This Friday we have Dev Heads coming from me, Tina, and Mikey. We're going to have a guest on. We're going to be talking about a bunch of cool stuff. And then I won't be here next week.
That's right.
Because I'll be at GDC. So if there are any devs listening, if you want to hang out, drop me a line.
Yeah, we're not planning on doing like videos about it like we did last time.
Yeah, so I'm going to see you. I'm going to be down your ends. You going to come see us?
Try to get in for a little lunchy if you can pop in for a little lunchy one day.
I got a lot of shit to do. I mean, if you want to get on the BART train, you could come over and enjoy my bread.
I'm actually tempted.
It's on I'm on the very edge of the BART map. It's like an hour.
Wait, how long does it take?
Train. It's like an hour to get to the city.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll come see you.
On the BART train.
Eat the bread. Eat the bread. Pet the dog.
Review the bread.
What else?
Review the bread.
Anything else to plug?
Later today, 6 p.m. Central, the Hidden Gems crew will be back doing a game Yahtzee played for Yahtzee Tries a little while ago, Blood Typers, but all 3 of them got codes, so they're going to be typing up a storm together in a little bit of co-op.
The multiplayer mode.
Yes. So that'll be tonight at 6 p.m. Central. Tomorrow, new episode of The Backdrop, as well as, I believe, another Nick and Jenna stream. Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Central, an hour after Yahtzee tries in the normal Metroid slot. We're not doing Metroid this week because we're doing a little Dokapon Kingdom. So Jesse and Casey will be back, continuing our campaign that is very possible will just never end. I would love it to end at some point.
There is no escaping the Dokapon Kingdom.
Truly no
Cannot
escaping
end.
the kingdom. Then normal streams the rest of the week. Liza P, or not Liza P. Lords of the Fallen, Firelink, all that good stuff. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
It's like Drangleic in Dark Souls 2.
It is.
You are like wandering hollows, trapped forever in the Dokapon Kingdom.
Honestly, that's how I feel, and we play it just infrequently enough for me to every time I jump in, I'm like, I've forgotten everything about this game.
Oh,
I don't know anything that was happening a month ago.
It's like Severance. It wipes your memory every time you leave.
Yeah, exactly. We also got one last super chat that came in. Yes.
Ooh. So we did. Blistered Soul gives £199 and says, "Whoa! For the first time, I can super chat from work. Presumably thanks to daylight savings.
Work chat.
We saved daylight.
A pain in the body, as always. All right. Well, that'll be it from us. We're going to nurse our pained bodies. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Eric.